Hi, I'm Megan and welcome to my kitchen. In today's What's for Dinner video, I'll be sharing with you what meals we had this past week. Now, a quick disclaimer, this video is a little bit different than my usual videos. I've mentioned before on my channel that I have severe endometriosis, and this week was a cycle week, and it was pretty much one ginormous flare-up. So most of the dinners were off the meal plan, and most of them were quick and easy using prepackaged or processed foods, and I was just doing the best I could to get dinner on the table. And during this time I tend to crave a lot of carbs and cheesy foods, so yeah, if all of those things are just morally reprehensible to you, maybe skip this video. I have a whole list of What's for Dinner videos in my description box below that you can check out. But yeah, if you are looking for some quick, easy, super, just get it on the dinner table meal ideas, then just keep watching. First up, I did a balsamic chicken and veggies sheet pan dinner. This recipe, along with any recipes from today's video, will be down in the description box below for you. So here's what I'm going to use to marinate the chicken. I've got honey, balsamic vinegar, garlic powder, and then I happen to have fresh rosemary on hand. I have a little 5-gallon herb garden. It's just got basil, parsley, and rosemary in it, but you could totally use dried rosemary if you prefer. I'm using some boneless, skinless chicken thighs. You could use chicken breasts, chicken tenders, bone-in chicken. You just might want to change your cooking time accordingly, whatever you got on hand or whatever you can find on sale. Now, I whisked together the marinade for the chicken. Again, check the recipe link down below for the exact measurements. I added the marinade and the chicken to a Ziploc bag and popped it into the refrigerator to let it marinate for just a couple hours. Here are the vegetables I'm going to use. You can use whatever you've got on hand, and right now, all of the fall vegetables are at a good price, so I would get whatever's on sale. I've got some parsnips, carrots, have Brussels sprouts, and these Yukon Gold potatoes that I need to use up. So I just cut up the potatoes. Of course, the Brussels sprouts were already halved. I peeled the carrots and parsnips and gave those a chop. All of that is in this bowl. I'm going to add on some olive oil and then season it to taste with a little bit of salt and pepper. And then while I was grabbing the salt and pepper, I remember that I had this rosemary sea salt, and so I'm want to use that up, and I figured it would go well with this, so I just added a little sprinkle, and then I'm going to add in some garlic powder. As always, feel free to use whatever seasonings you prefer. I'm going to give that a good mix and then add in some of that fresh rosemary. Once I've added that in and given it another mix, I am going to place this on a foil-lined baking sheet, and I am then going to add on my chicken thighs just directly on top of this. And then finally, just kind of last minute, I decided to give a little sprinkle of that rosemary sea salt on top of the chicken. Now, the recipe does say that you can sear the chicken just to kind of get, a good color on it, a little bit of a crispy skin before adding it to the top. But it says to put this into a preheated oven at 425 degrees and bake for about 30 to 35 minutes. Now, I found that the chicken got done way faster than what I wanted the vegetables to get done. So I would definitely make this again, but what I would do differently and what I would recommend, for you all to do is to wait to add the chicken to this and to just cook the vegetables at 425 for about 30 minutes, give them a stir, then add the chicken, and then cook the chicken for, 20 to 30 minutes or so, just until the chicken is at least 165 degrees internal temperature. All right, and here are the final plates. So we've got the chicken, those veggies, and then I had just two Sister Schubert's rolls in the freezer that needed to be used up. So I cooked them in the air fryer. I did overcook them a little bit. They got a little extra brown, but that's okay. A little butter will help those. And yeah, this was a easy dinner to put together. It was delicious, and we had leftovers. So yeah, I'd recommend giving this recipe a try. So this next day is when, all my flare-up fun decided to begin. And so Gary was sweet enough to run some errands for me while he was out. He ran up the street for us. So I've mentioned this before on my channel, but it's been a while. There is a gas station just up the street from us, and a Korean family owns it. And they have like gas station food, like potato wedges and cheeseburgers and stuff. But she also makes the most amazing Korean food, and she makes everything herself, even her kimchi. It is so good. So he went and got himself the spicy pork kimchi fried rice, and then I got the beef fried rice without kimchi or anything. But yeah, it was delicious, and that was our dinner that night. The next day was Sunday, so for our Sunday dinner, we decided to do like a German themed. I had bought some German food from Aldi several weeks back, and so that's what I decided to do. I was looking at, common German side dishes, and I saw a cucumber salad popped up a lot, and so this is just one of the recipes that I found for German cucumber salad. I'm not German, so I don't know how authentic it was, but it was delicious. So in this bowl here, I'm going to add in some sour cream. The recipe that I use also said that you could use yogurt if you'd prefer to do that. Adding in a little bit of sugar, and then the recipe just said vinegar. It didn't say what kind, so I just went with white vinegar because it's, just pretty standard. I'm going to add in some dried dill. You could use fresh, of course, if you prefer to do that. I'm going to season this to taste with a little salt and pepper, and then I'm adding in some minced garlic. I'm using the stuff from the jar. You can mince up your own if you want. I'm going to give that a really, really good mix, and then, you can give that a taste, see if you want to add any additional seasonings. Now we're going to add in the cucumber. I'm going to use this mandolin. If you use any sort of mandolin, whether it's, this one that I've got or like the microplane, be careful. Be careful. Don't play around. When you get close to your fingers, use the guard. I speak from personal experience. It is not fun to cut your hand on this. So I'm going to add the sliced cucumber. And if you don't have a mandolin, no worries. Just use a knife. Just make it, thin, and you're good to go. So I'm going to give that a stir with the cucumbers, and then pop that into the fridge and let it, the flavors kind of come together for about 30 minutes. Now, for the other side dish, I got this package of cheese egg Schnitzel at Aldi. So I'm just going to cook this according to the package instructions here on the back. So in this little saucepan, I've got some water. I'm going to add the contents of that package, give that a stir, and then I brought this to a boil and allowed it to simmer. I went back and forth between making my own homemade mushroom gravy from scratch. Just decided to keep it easy this night. I'm just going to cook up this package according to the package instructions. So once that came to a boil, I reduced the heat, gave it a stir. I simmered it until the Schnitzel was tender and the liquid evaporated. This is what it looked like when it was done. Now, the package did say that you can eat it just like this, or you could add in some butter and cheese. So I decided to do that, adding in a little pat of butter. And then as far as the cheese go, it wasn't specific on the cheese, and I had just this little bit of Monterey Jack cheese that was shredded up. So I decided to add that in, give that a stir, and then, yeah, that was it. And this Schnitzel, y'all, it was delicious. It was so good. Both Gary and I really liked it. I was kind of bummed. I wish I would have got 2 packages. All right, so here is the pork schnitzel that I got. I saw on Taylor Elmore's channel, she had bought these. She turned them into just like pork sandwiches, but I decided to cook it in the air fryer, like she suggested. So cooked this at 400 degrees after spraying it with some cooking spray, and I believed I cooked it for about 10 to 12 minutes on each side. Just, you want to make sure it's warmed all the way through and crispy on the outside. And here is that finished mushroom gravy, and then these are the plates. So we've got that schnitzel, the mushroom gravy, the cucumber salad, and the Schnitzel, and this was so yummy. Like I said, both Gary and I really loved that cucumber salad. The Schnitzel was so delicious. I would definitely buy that again. I'm going to try to run to Aldi one day this week, and hopefully they've still got some, because I'm going to grab a couple. Now, the pork schnitzel, look, it's a pork cutlet in, what did it say, like a saltine cracker crust. So, I mean, it's not the most flavorful thing in the world, but it was pork schnitzel. I mean, but with the gravy and everything else, it was really, really good. This was a delicious dinner. Dinner the next night was off a meal plan, and like I said, cheesy and carbs is what I wanted. Was looking through the fridge and pantry and saw a box of tuna helper, so I decided to make that for me. If you've been with me for a while, you know tuna helper, tuna casserole, and Gary's a hard pass with that. So I was, kind of looking through the fridge and pantry, seeing what I had on hand that, we could put together for him, and I had this stuff to do, like a Southwest grilled chicken salad. I've got lettuce, some tortilla strips, shredded cheese. I've got some black beans and corn. I don't even remember now what these were left over from, but nonetheless, they need to be used up. Same thing with the chicken. Don't remember now what originally I used it for, but it's left over. Need to use it up. And then I've also got some leftover pico de gallo. And then I've got this Chipotle ranch dressing that we're going to use. So yeah, I just assembled the salad for him. And then he also, while I was cooking the salad, he hadn't been feeling well that day and hadn't eaten a lot. And quesadilla sounded good to him. So I just threw it together. Really, I just used everything I'd pulled out for a salad. Just some of the shredded cheese, the cut up chicken, the pico, and those black beans and corn. And I forgot to mention this, but I had one avocado left and it was like perfectly ripe, so I added that to his salad as well. I cooked the tuna helper according to the package instructions, added in some frozen peas, and that was our dinner that night. Dinner the next night was also off a meal plan. Really needed something quick and easy. So for me, I had these spicy, just bare chicken patties, these Ore-Ida fast food fries, and then just some leftover hamburger buns. For Gary, he really wanted like the wraps from Sonic, and so I apologize, I forgot to show the ingredients for me making it or anything, but for the wrap, I just laid down a tortilla, added some ranch dressing, lettuce, tomato, some bacon bits, just, the ones from the package in the fridge, shredded cheese, and then some already grilled chicken strips, that you can just find in the grocery store, like near the hot dogs. And then, yeah, that was it. Gave them a wrap. And then here are the plates. I really, really, really was craving loaded fries. That's really what I wanted. And so to go along with the wraps, I'd made those Ore-Ida fries, just cooked them in the air fryer. And then for me, I added some of the shredded cheese and bacon bits that I'd used for Gary's wrap. And then last time we were in Kentucky, we had went to just a little mom and pop restaurant there, and they make their own, I guess, like fry sauce, I guess you would call it. We bought a bottle of it, and so that's what Gary has to dip his fries in, and that's what I've also got drizzled on my fries. Quick and easy, but yummy little dinner. Dinner the next night, also off a meal plan, also a cheesy carb. Are y'all tired of me saying that? Yeah, which, by the way, I did make a disclaimer at the beginning of the video. And this is, if you've been with me for a while or you've seen more than like 2 of my What's for Dinner videos, we never eat like this many cheese and carbs in a single week. So if you leave a nasty gram down below, I'm just going to delete it. I'm not going to pay you any attention. It's not ordinary for us, and unless you're my doctor, don't worry about it. But I had found this Velveeta like cheesy broccoli chicken skillet at the Dollar General store, but I'm sure you can find it at most grocery stores. It was in my pantry, needed to be used up, decided to give it a try tonight. So I'm literally just going to cook this according to the package instructions. It says, to cook up your own chicken. You could do that, but you could also use like leftover chicken or rotisserie chicken to make this even faster. But I have got some oil in this skillet. It's heating up. I've got some chicken tenders. I just seasoned this with some salt, pepper, garlic powder, and paprika. I'm going to cook the chicken until it is cooked all the way through. Next, I'm going to add in some water, and if you wanted to, you could do like a low sodium bone broth here. I think that would give it extra protein, just a little extra flavor to the orzo. Now I'm going to add in the little package of orzo pasta that was in the box, as well as the seasoning packet that was in the box. I'm going to give this a stir, bring this to a boil, and then reduce it to a simmer covered. And I believe it said to cook this for about 8 to 10 minutes or so until the orzo was mostly tender. At that point, it stated to use this little broccoli packet. Now, y'all, if you can see this isn't really broccoli. This is like essence of broccoli. So, I think this would be a great place to add in actual, like frozen or fresh broccoli, or you could also add in spinach or whatever other vegetable vegetables you would like to use. So give that a stir, and then cooked it for another couple minutes. Again, just according to the package instructions. Next, we're going to add in the Velveeta packet. Again, this was in the box. Give that a stir, and then that's pretty much it. I did give this a taste. I did not add any salt at all, but I did decide to add in a little bit of black pepper and garlic powder. Now, you could use whatever seasonings you like. And then, like I said earlier, I definitely think you could bulk this up by adding in some vegetables. I mean, look, when I bought it, I didn't expect, you know, fresh broccoli or full broccoli florets or anything like that. So I would, you know, next time I would add them directly into the skillet, but I wasn't really sure, you know, if we would like it or whatever. So instead, I had some fresh broccoli in the fridge. I decided just to quickly steam that. So I placed it in this bowl, added in a couple tablespoons of water. I'm going to cover this tightly with some plastic wrap, poke a couple holes, and then I popped it into the microwave. It depends on how much broccoli you've got and like how powerful your microwave is, but usually mine takes about 4 to 5 minutes or so. I like to drain off that excess liquid, so I just use a couple paper towels, and then I'm going to add in a tiny pat of butter along with some salt and pepper. Give that a stir, and then that's it for the steamed broccoli. Next up are the plates. So we've got some of the cheesy orzo skillet, the broccoli, and then the box to the orzo skillet kit suggested crushing up some Ritz crackers and serving those on top of the skillet. So that's what I did. And yeah, this was a yummy dinner. It was really easy and quick to put together. I would buy that box kit again. I mean, look, obviously it's not something you want to eat every night, but it's good, you know, to keep on hand in case there's a night where you don't feel well or you've got a lot going on. You know, it's processed food, convenience food, but it's there for a reason. We all have nights where sometimes we, you know, this is all we can do to get dinner on the table, and that's okay. For the last dinner in this week's video, I tried a new recipe for Tuscan lemon chicken. So here is what I'm going to use to marinate the chicken. I've got some boneless, skinless chicken thighs. Again, you could use chicken breasts or chicken tenders. I've got some extra virgin olive oil, lemon, shallot, some minced garlic, ground thyme, salt and pepper, and then I've got some fresh parsley and rosemary from my little herb plant. You can use dried, of course. So all I'm going to do is mix everything except the chicken up, and again, remember to check the recipe down in the description box below for exact measurements. I added the marinade and the chicken thighs to a Ziploc bag and then popped this into the refrigerator to marinate. You can do it for a couple hours up to overnight. Now, I just placed the chicken on a cooking sheet and baked it in the oven at 425 degrees for about 30 minutes or so until the chicken was at least 165 degrees. I tried another new recipe for the side dish. It's Mediterranean roasted vegetables. So here are the veggies that I'm going to use. I've got a purple onion, a red bell pepper, eggplant, zucchini, and then some grape tomatoes. So all I did was, you know, of course, everything was washed. I cut up the onion, chopped up the eggplant, cut the zucchini into half moons, and then threw the grape tomatoes in whole. We're going to add like a little sauce or vinaigrette to toss the veggies in. I've got some extra virgin olive oil. You could use avocado oil or whatever your preference is. Next, I'm adding in some balsamic vinegar along with minced garlic. I'm going to add in some dried basil, thyme, and oregano. Last but not least, I'm going to add in some kosher salt and pepper and then give the vinaigrette a really good whisk. Then once it's mixed together really well, I'm going to drizzle it over the vegetables and give those a good toss. Now, I'm going to place the vegetables onto a baking sheet that I lined with some aluminum foil because we've got that balsamic vinegar in there, which does have, you know, a little bit of sugar in there. I'm going to spread the vegetables out into a single layer and then pop this into the preheated oven. Again, it was set at 425 degrees. I baked this for about 30 minutes. I did stir it halfway through, and this is what the vegetables look like when they were done. To go along with this, I have this couscous mix. This is the Parmesan flavor. I got this at Aldi. Just cooked it according to the package instructions. And then here are the plates. So we've got the chicken, the couscous, and the vegetables. And this was a delicious dinner. It was really good. I was feeling better this day, and it was really nice to have something fresh and yummy and, you know, fairly healthy after all the cheesy carbs. But yeah, it was delicious. Those vegetables had so much flavor. The chicken had a good lemony flavor. And then, you know, of course, that couscous. I mean, it's just couscous, but you can't go wrong with it. All right, that is it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you liked this video, that you got some dinner ideas from it. If you did like it, hit the thumbs up button below and subscribe to my channel if you're not already. I hope you have a great rest of the day. Thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye.